After a New York state jury on Friday began the hearing in the civil corruption trial of the National Rifle Association, NRA, and the group's long-serving leader, Wayne LaPierre, jurors are set to return on Tuesday to continue deliberating in the New York civil corruption trial. Now, the case highlights one of the most powerful lobbying groups in a country which has more guns than people. The defendants in the case are NRA's former CEO, Wayne LaPierre, former CFO Wilson Woody Phillips, and General Counsel John Fraser. During the final arguments of the NRA's civil corruption trial, the Attorney General's office in New York claimed that the organization should reimburse the top executives for millions of dollars spent on personal costs as the group engaged in widespread wrongdoing. LaPierre's attorney has claimed the case as a political witch hunt by the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. The case unfolded over a period of 6 weeks, during which trials were held, and of course the New York lawyers billed the NRA for more than $11 million for private jet flights. LaPierre, however, resigned days before the proceedings began in January. He is also alleged to have spent more than $500,000 on 8 trips to the Bahamas over a 3-year time span, the same which LaPierre's attorney argued was necessary for his safety reasons, given to his prominence in the contentious gun debate. The NRA was established in New York City more than 150 years ago with the goal of promoting rifle skills. And since then, the organization has expanded into a political powerhouse that affects both presidential elections and federal law. Our correspondent Susan Tehrani tells us more about the civil corruption trial against the National Rifle Association and Wayne LaPierre. She, of course, sent us this report from New York. Take a look.
Jurors will return on Tuesday to continue deliberations in the New York civil corruption trial against the National Rifle Association, known as the NRA, and the group's former CEO, Wayne LaPierre. The state attorney general, Letitia James, a Democrat, filed this lawsuit back in 2020 to dissolve the NRA on allegations that the organization violated laws for nonprofit groups, committed tax fraud, and also used millions for personal use. She took to X back in January, saying that the end of LaPierre and its era is an important victory in our case. Of course, LaPierre and others see this case as being completely politically motivated. The jury did begin deliberations last Friday, however, took a break, including Monday, which was President's Day, a national holiday. Of course, they'll return on Tuesday. And while the NRA still holds a lot of sway, a lot has changed since New York began its investigation some 4 years ago. Once it was a lobbying powerhouse that courted presidential candidates. However, it's seen some of its influence wane in recent years. For example, membership has dropped to 4.2 million from nearly 6 million 5 years ago. And according to its internal audits, the organization revenue is now down 44% since 2016. The fate of the NRA, at least here in New York, is yet to be seen. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION The World.